Yo, once again, it's on. It's Saturday night. I hope you got your drinks ready. We got a lot of things going on. It's fantasy playoffs for a lot of leagues. You know what I'm saying? For other leagues, this is the last week of the regular season. You may be into some really sketch situations. You know what I'm saying? But as always, you know, the first we're downs, we got the plug. You know what I mean? B. Scott, third wheel, drop the logo. Yeah, that's what's up. That's that vibe. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the First Word Downs. This Saturday night, we doing our thing. To the left of me in the house, we got
B. Scott.
In the house, we got
Third Wheel.
And yours truly, G.O.D. You know what it is. Man, we coming off a crazy game Thursday night football. Chicago and Dallas. Man, I don't know what to say about Dallas right now. I really don't know what to say about the Cowboys right now. I mean, What is going on with your team, Jerry Jones? B. Scott, you got anything for that?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty crazy. The Cowboys have a ridiculous talented roster, top to bottom. Don't get me wrong, Van Der Esch in the middle is really hurting them, but that defense should be way better. I mean, you let Mitch Trubisky walk all over you like that, it's embarrassing, you know, realistically. He's been playing better of late, but he still has not looked good all season. And for them to take care of business, I get it. They were at home, so they have the advantage. You know, home field definitely plays. The Cowboys, I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, honestly, in my opinion. They got a great running back. They got good receivers. Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Their defense is above average, you know, and they're losing football games.
Yeah, man, and it's so crazy, man. You know what? In the offseason, a lot of people, a lot of pros, they had them as a Super Bowl contender, and they came out firing on all cylinders. And now that they're playing like pretty good teams that's over 500, I mean, they're getting smoked, man. What's going on? You know what? I seen Dallas's defense miss a lot of assignments in this game, and I think it attributes a lot to the weather. You know what I mean? It seemed like they're a dome team, and they play in the dome. And I know it gets cold in Dallas, but it was 30 degrees in Chicago. So I think that had a lot to do with it. They look frozen stiff, man. You know what I'm saying? So what can they do going out here? I really don't know. I hope they get it together, but I don't see a playoff berth for them no time soon. I mean,
Nope.
you know, I mean, their division is a little bit tough, but I see Philly emerging. You know what I mean? They're finally healthy. Zach Ertz is back healthy. Alshon is back healthy. Aguilar is back healthy. Wentz should be able to roll. You know what I'm saying? So Dallas, man, they got a lot of work to do, and hopefully they do get back on track.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, Wentz has looked off. From his MVP candidacy in, you know, his rookie season. He's definitely looked off. But no, Dallas is. They're not. That dude's out of there. Garrett is out of there. Just go ahead and mark that down. He is out of there.
I want to make a statement right now. I think the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys is going to be Mike McCarthy. I'm telling you. Well, he sat out a year to get his mind right. You know what I'm saying? Got fired from Green Bay because him and Aaron Rodgers wasn't getting along, and you know, I mean, his offense just really wasn't putting it down. And you think about Jerry Jones just calling the plays from the booth up there. You know what I'm saying? McCarthy is a prime candidate to take over that job.
Rumor is Harbaugh is probably leaving Michigan. So,
I mean, there's a ton of places he can land. You know what I mean? But I think McCarthy.
And Dallas is the biggest place you can possibly land.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the offense of the Dallas Cowboys and a defensive-minded coach like Ron Rivera, who just got fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could be firepower, honestly.
Really good.
Because that offense is no joke legit, you know, for the Dallas Cowboys. And the defense, they have the talent. It's young. It's fast. You know, they can put it together. But anyway,
this is what happens though when you pay all your defensive players, and you know what I mean, and then you get the holdout from Ezekiel Elliott. Now you still got to pay Dak. You still got to pay Amari Cooper, who, by the way, is still only producing in 50% of his games. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't listen to our videos in the offseason, we told you this was going to happen. So, you know, moving on to Sunday's matchups, we got a lot of firepower. What's the first game on the bill, B?
So yeah, the first game I'm going to bring up is the Indianapolis Colts. They're on the road against Tampa Bay. And in my opinion, Tampa Bay should hold strong at home. They've played well of recently, and Jameis Winston, although he does turn the ball over, usually lights it up through the air. And, I'm definitely firing up a lot of starters in this game. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I even like O.J. Howard kind of as a tight end spot if you got to play one. And then on the other side of the ball, Jack Doyle, definitely.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Marlon Mack's coming back. They said there's going to be no restrictions, but Tampa's front's no joke. Marlon Mack's a sit to me in the fantasy playoffs this week 14.
Yep.
It's too hard to trust him being out a couple games. Don't get me wrong, it was a hand injury, so his conditioning should be fine, but he's a sit to me. So, and I got Tampa in this game.
Yeah, I got Tampa too, man. You look at Indy's defense, their rush defense has been solid all year pretty much, until Derrick Henry blew up on them last week for 149 yards. They've allowed 700-yard receivers in 13 games, but the ticket here is Tampa Bay's allowed 8 in 13 games. You know what I'm saying? This has a potential to be a big shootout. With T.Y. out, you know what I mean? You're looking at guys like Zach Pascal and Jack Doyle to produce the most, and a lot of inexperienced guys to come in there and do their thing. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think Jameis Winston finds a way to win this game. I think it's going to be a big Jameis Winston game. I think Mike Evans is going to be sure firepower. Godwin as well. And like you said, O.J. Howard as well. Tampa's running game is pretty much a joke. It's not consistent at all.
Not enough to take a chance on a running back.
Yeah, he's not. Ronald Jones is not a flex in this game. So you know what? I wouldn't even go there with it. But I got the Bucks rolling.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the Bucks as well. Which is bad because I pretty much traded away Chris Godwin on the first week of the season.
Impossible.
Which I did, and it kind of hurt me, and everybody pretty much dogged me about it. But
it's embarrassing.
They've gotten better and better.
We'll never let it go.
No, they're never gonna let it go. But they've gotten better as they've gone along in the season. So I give them definitely credit for that. I think one of the biggest keys for them has been the rookie Devin White in the middle of that freaking linebacking core. I really do. He started to just pick it up, and they said that's what he was. They said he was a floor general when he came into the draft. Some people wasn't believing it, and he's really turned that defense to be a little bit better. So not only Tampa Bay for this week, I think Tampa Bay for the next couple of years is only going to get better. For the next couple of years, I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah. So who are you taking in this game? The Colts or the Bucks?
Bucks.
Well, you heard it here. First for downs, we got it. Tampa Bay all day.
Yep. On to the next matchup. We got Miami on the road against the New York Jets. And this is one of those games that's always scary. You got two
terrible teams
playing against each other, so you think, both defenses are so bad that I'm just going to fire up all the offense. And it's like, wait a minute. For some foreseeable reason, it never pans out. So for me in this game, I got Devontae Parker, obviously, on the Miami Dolphins side of the football. He's been nothing short of outstanding over the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Finally.
Hey, wide receiver 5, and you know what? He's ready to get paid. I'm pretty sure he's in the last year of his contract, so he's absolutely dominating on the football field. Fitzpatrick, I think he can produce 280 and 3 touchdowns he produced against the Jets just 4 weeks ago. So,
well, Fitz can do 404 touchdowns, or he can do 201 touchdown and 3 interceptions. You just never know with Fitz magic.
Absolutely, but
but you know what? The Jets secondary is all hurt. Jamal Adams is probably not going to play this game. You look at the Jets defense, you know what I'm saying? Their rush defense, they're averaging 2.9 yards per carry. Their opponents are. Miami's running game is non-existent at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who gonna run the ball on a defense that is number 1 in the league? This has a game to be a flyer. I love Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker. Gesicki could be a beast in this game. Albert Wilson could also produce. On the other side of that, Jamison Crowder. You know what I mean? He was quiet last week. He got shut down. But you know what? Darnold likes him. He's been getting the volume. Roby could, you know what I'm saying, possibly be a flexible guy in this game as well. But ultimately, I just see the Miami Dolphins winning another game this weekend.
Yeah, I like the Jets in this one at home. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, the secondary of the Jets has been struggling, but the front's still good. And without Jamal Adams, that's a huge, miss in the secondary. But I like Robbie Anderson a lot for the Jets. I mean, you look at the Miami Dolphins over the last few weeks. They've given up number one receivers, unbelievable fantasy points. I mean, just in large doses. Alshon Jeffries last week, 2 touchdowns. You know,
Darnold's gotten better.
Absolutely. So I got the Jets in this one, but I do see Miami. They've been on a hot streak. Realistically, won 3 of 5 games. You know,
they fight, man. They, you know what? No team wants to go like
your ass whooped for 16 straight games.
Absolutely, like just terrible. You know what I'm saying? You want to have at least a couple games that you show something. So, you know what? In a divisional matchup, I just got the Dolphins. I just got a weird feeling.
All right, so we can go to the next matchup. We got San Francisco 49ers on the road against the New Orleans Saints. And this is probably the matchup of the week, realistically, outside of the New England game, but we'll get to that. I like the Niners in this game. You know, I think the Saints have really been reeling on offense, and their defense has been good but not great. So, even though the Saints are at home, and it's tough to beat the Saints at home, I like the Niners in this game.
It's crazy, man. You know what? I think Sean Payton knows that San Francisco is for real, and I think Sean Payton knows that they offensive line, that they have some newbies on that left side, man. You know what I'm saying? It showed in the last game. Drew Brees is getting that ball out of his hand very quickly. The Niners have been stout against the run defense, but I think this is a game fit for Alvin Kamara. They're going to dump that ball off quick. They're going to dump that ball off fast, and then they're going to start hitting it deep. I'm telling you, I just got a funny feeling that defense, New Orleans defense, inside that stadium is going to be too loud, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to fold. You know what I mean? The key to success there is not against Marshawn Lattimore, obviously. So if they run Emmanuel Sanders in the slot, you know what I'm saying, a lot, they could possibly have an advantage there on New Orleans. But ultimately, I think that New Orleans will come out with this victory at home.
Going New Orleans. Not betting against Drew Brees, man. I'm just not. He's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo ever is or probably ever will be. I'm going with the Hall of Famer.
I'm thinking Jimmy G going to fold in this one.
That's going to go.
Well, I'm gonna go the opposite way. I got San Francisco. And for me, in the starts, I like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. I don't like any San Francisco running back. And it's hard to say that considering they're the number 2 rush team. But you got Matt Breida coming back from injury. Tevin Coleman has not looked good at all. And then Mostert has been killing it. But you got Breida coming back. So it's hard-pressed to see who's going to lead the charge there. And I think Breida's ultimately,
I'm not touching any one of those running backs. But.
Well, yeah, exactly. Ultimately, I think Breida gets a lot of yardage. I think Tevin Coleman could go at the goal lines. Mostert might be the odd man out, even though he's been lighting it up over the last few weeks. So, and then obviously the Saints, I like Michael Thomas. I like Alvin Kamara. And Breeze is kind of a sit to me in this game with San Francisco defense being so damn good. But, you know.
Sitting Breeze at home?
Yes. This is gonna be a crazy game, and I think the Niners pull it out. And actually, just like against the Packers, where no one believed that they were good enough to beat the Packers, and they destroyed them. Then they go into play Baltimore in Baltimore and barely lose. You know, and now, yeah, you got to play the Saints at home. It's a tough matchup, but I think the Niners are ready to take on the challenge.
So. It depends on your quarterback situation because I think Breeze, no matter what, is still 250 plus to 300 plus yards, probably 2 touchdowns. So if I just don't see anything less than that. But
so we're split on that one. But anyway, we can jump right to the next matchup. We got Detroit on the road against Minnesota, and Minnesota should win this game. It should be a pretty easy victory for Kirk Cousins. No Adam Thielen in this game. It looks like Dalvin Cook's at 100%. And I like Kyle Rudolph a lot, man. Since Thielen's been out, he's been nothing short of outstanding. 6 touchdowns, I want to say, in the last 7 weeks. And he's been killing it at the tight end position, realistically. So I like Diggs. Detroit's defense is absolutely horrible. So, and then on the other side of the ball, I like Bo Scarborough to get a lot of yards, but he's 2 touchdown dependent for me. It's week 14. You need a win.
Yeah, he's 2 touchdown dependent, and he's ineffective in the pass game.
Absolutely.
You know what? Detroit, bling blow. Can he stand up against this Minnesota pass rush? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I got Minnesota absolutely killing as far as Dalvin Cook is concerned. We seen him take a couple carries last week and went out. You know what I mean? Earlier in the week, he was had a chest problem as well. So this could be a game where he takes one hit, and you know what I mean. A David Johnson situation, and Madison takes the ball over. So, you know, I cannot say do not start Dalvin Cook, right?
Absolutely
You can't.
not.
He's been killing it all year. But Madison is might be a big factor in this one. We might see Stephon Diggs with a couple bombs in this one. As far as the wide receivers on Minnesota, man, you know what? I really don't know. It just depends on the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying it, man. The game starts at the snap, and Minnesota's defense is no joke. So I'm taking Minnesota in this one, and that's all I got as far as fantasy implications. Third Will, you got something on that?
I have Minnesota's D. Detroit's at a 13-point freaking dog on this one. 13. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up Minnesota's defense and let them ride. That's really all I'm looking at.
All right, we're all on Minnesota. That's a pretty obvious one. I still like Kenny Galladay in this matchup, man. But on to the next matchup, we got Denver on the road against Houston. Drew Lock, his first start last week, and he actually looked pretty good. I was kind of weary because Drew Lock did not look good in the preseason. You know, so I was wondering what kind of Drew Lock were you going to see? It's his first NFL start, going against the Chargers defense and a secondary that was pretty solid, hasn't really been beat, and then he throws 2 touchdowns, Cortland Sutton, and then they end up pulling the game out. So don't get me wrong, it's on the road this time. You know, it's in Houston, so I'm definitely starting Sutton. He's matchup proof. He's been outstanding too. He's been definitely a player that's broken out this year. And then I like Philip Lindsay in this matchup. But outside of that, on the Denver side of the ball, you know, that's pretty much all you can start. Houston should be fired up. You know what I mean? Will Fuller should dominate the deep ball. DeAndre Hopkins is going to have to deal with Chris Harris Jr. a little bit, so that's a tougher matchup, but it's beatable. And Deshaun Watson, you know, should play pretty solid.
Yeah, he should play pretty solid. The whole team as a whole should play pretty solid. You know what, man? They're coming off a win in a big, high confidence game. They knocked off the New England Patriots last week, which we called at the first downs, by the way. You know what? Houston is still a good Russian defense. You know what I'm saying? They do let things go through the secondary on that second side. It could be a problem. You know what I mean? Cortland Sutton could see the end zone twice in this one. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of love for Philip Lindsay or Royce Freeman. It's going to be a tough game. It's really a tough game for me to call, but I just think that with them rolling the way that they've been rolling, you know what I'm saying? They look like a good football team. Deshaun Watson is super cerebral, and, you know, you can't really play the guy. You know what I'm saying? You can't really pull no wool over his face or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just got Houston in this one. I don't really have that much to say about it. You know what I mean?
If you're a betting man, I would probably take the over on this one. I think it goes over on the 42.5. They got Houston +9, but fantasy-wise, yeah, Hopkins, Fuller, Watkins, I think they put up 30+ on this game. So,
yep. So it looks like we're all on Houston. And we move right to the next matchup. Washington Redskins on the road against Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay.
This should be a fun one.
Bye,
Yep.
Felicia.
Green Bay. Washington Redskins, one starter. I just want to bring it out there before we all choose Green Bay Packers. It's obvious. Darius Geis, man, because I think even in garbage time, if Green Bay gets out of hand, he could produce in fantasy and definitely a flex-worthy guy. You know what I mean? And he can catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? All season long, if you look at the stats, no Washington Redskins running back has had more than 13 carries in a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So is he really going to get that ton of volume, especially coming off of his knee injury? I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be on the field long enough for him to get 20 carries? No, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? This is a big game for Jamal Adams and Aaron Jones, and I just see them absolutely dogging the Washington Redskins this Sunday.
you mean I should start Aaron Rodgers then?
Yes.
Yes.
That's obvious.
Okay.
Come on, man. Wait a minute. What are you thinking? But anyway, we're all on Green Bay on this one, so we jump to the next matchup. Cincinnati got their first win last week. Andy Dalton back on the road against Cleveland Browns. Divisional matchup. Should be a tough one.
Dalton, man. I told y'all last week. I'm telling you, okay, coming in, he was a little bit upset. He kind of came out and threw up a decent game, and Bengals did it.
Yeah, I got Cleveland in this one. I knew the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to take care of business last week. I don't know, something about it. I just knew it, but I don't know if Cincy can go into Cleveland and beat the Browns. I just don't see that. Even don't get me wrong, they got John Ross back this week. Joe Mixon's been playing very well. Tyler Boyd, even Ogden Tate. Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton is no scrub at the quarterback position. I feel like they sat him for different reasons, not because he was playing bad.
They're ready to move on is what they're ready to do.
Well, they were giving their next quarterback a chance to see what's going on. They're going to have the number one pick. So, but yeah, I like the Browns in this one. OBJ still a sit for me. He has not produced. Cincinnati secondary has actually been pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but Jarvis Landry's produced all year. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt should feast.
Yeah, easily. Will the real Golden Tate please stand up? That AU, I see that. I see what you did there. John Ross back to stretch out that field. I could see Auden Tate getting in that end zone. You know what? Even with Dalton throwing what they do, they can gunsling this one all they want to do. I just don't see Cleveland losing this game. I don't. I mean, come on, man. Cincy sucks. They're not a good football team, and like you said, you got to think about clock control, right? I think Chubb and Kamara could absolutely dominate this game. You know what I mean? They're terrible against the rush. I think Cleveland's gonna have the ball a lot. I'm going Cleveland all day. You might be able to start Odell in this game because they give up a lot of streaks. You know what I'm saying, to the one wide receiver. So Odell could be a sleeper in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy in fantasy world to know that you have Odell as a sleeper in the game. It's ridiculous. But you have to wonder you know what, Baker Mayfield has been having an injury problem with his hand. You know what I'm saying? During the week, you gotta wonder if he's all right. So you know what I mean? That's dependent on his production. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But I think Jarvis Landry and Odell through the air, they're going to eat them up a little bit.
All right. Now think about this. Because while I do agree, I think the Browns take this game. They got the Browns by 7.5. You got the Browns by 7.5? I don't. I think it's going to be closer than that. So if you're betting man, I'm probably going with the Bengals. But as far as points-wise goes, fantasy, I think Andy Dalton does an okay game. Decent game. Probably 20-some fantasy points, a couple hundred yards, 2 touchdowns. That's about it. But I'm starting Boyd every day. Every day.
All right, so yeah, we're all on the Cleveland Browns. But anyway, we can move to the next matchup. We got the Baltimore Ravens on the road against Buffalo Bills. And we got 2 powerhouse teams, realistically. I mean, the Bills, in my opinion, are no joke. They're no slouch. You know, don't put it past them to take care of business if, when the going gets tough, they're playing very good football. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen's 1 interception in the last 6 weeks. You know what I mean? So
very solid.
At the end of the day, are you going to pick against Baltimore? No.
No, probably
you can't.
not.
They're playing too damn good, ultimately. But I like Lamar Jackson in this game. Buffalo's giving up a little on the ground, so I like Mark Ingram in this game. Mark Andrews is a tough spot because last week he had a bad matchup and he still produced. So what do you do this week in another tough matchup? Do you start him? You know what I mean? It's week 1 of playoffs. You can't take a dud here, so it's hard for me with Mark Andrews. But, I like Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, you know what, last week we seen them give up a lot of zone fucking love on the outside to Raheem Mostert. It could happen again here. You know what I'm saying, with Buffalo. If they utilize Singletary in that way. I just think that Baltimore is just too hot right now. They beat all the top teams. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see a room for, come on, Josh Allen going to run against them? No, it's not going to happen.
Well, it would definitely be
it's
difficult.
Not. Josh Allen hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as the wide receivers are concerned, they're not going to produce against this team. It's not. I just think that Baltimore is going to roll and it's going to be big.
You don't think it's going to be a Browns day?
What do you mean?
Like the Browns. Like John Brown, Marquise Brown.
No.
Like just a Browns day?
No team is letting. They're not letting things over the top. You know what I'm saying? It could possibly be. It could possibly be a sleeper Mark Andrews type game. It could possibly be. I'm telling you, I think the key to success for Buffalo to win this game is use Devin Singletary when they go to the zone. Woo. You know what I'm saying? On the outs. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't see Buffalo doing too much in this game.
Yeah, right. I don't see them winning this game without Devin Singletary getting 20 to 25 fucking touches.
Yeah, you're going to be looking at Willie Snead,
They haven't given him that all year.
Those kind of guys doing work. And even in the goal line packages, I really feel like Mark Ingram can produce here. I feel like Gus has been showing like some life, you know what I'm saying, on minimal carry. So, you know what I mean? I think that Baltimore has enough rushing power to keep the ball, contain the clock, and a defense that can keep Buffalo from scoring.
And an offense, you know what I'm saying? And a quarterback good enough to maintain clock.
Yeah, this is a Ravens game. Go get it. Be more.
Well, the only problem I have with the Buffalo Bills is a lot like the Niners, where the way to succeed against Baltimore Ravens is try and keep up. Ultimately, if you can, stick it out, punch for punch, point for point, you can have a chance at the end of the day. The problem is Baltimore usually is blowing out teams because they're going 3 and out, and Baltimore doesn't let up. You know what I mean? They full-blown don't. So I think Buffalo can slow Baltimore just like the Niners did a little bit.
I don't think so.
Just enough. But what I worry about...
People have been rushing on Buffalo
absolutely.
all day.
But what I worry about...
Jackson going to do the same.
And it's in Buffalo. But what I worry about is Buffalo being able to keep up. So I like John Brown in this matchup just based on pure target volume. I mean, if you look at his fantasy points over each week, it's just consistently been there. Don't get me wrong. Is he going to have 20 fantasy points? No. If you got to flex him in a tough spot, I would take a chance on him. Hollywood Brown is kind of a sit. He's got to deal with Tre'Davious White watching him. But you also got to remember, Marquise Brown has 6 touchdowns on the road this year, all on the road, none at home. So, if he's going to get in the end zone, it's probably going to be this week. So you never know. But
so who we got?
I think we're all on Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You can't pick against them.
It's Baltimore. I can't go against Baltimore. Dude, Baltimore is just killing right now so
Best
hard.
team of football.
I can't.
Absolutely,
yes.
number one for a reason.
First downs, baby. You know what it is. It's God. In the house, we got
B. Scott.
In the house, we got
Third Wheel.
We doing this. Let's go. Eli Manning is back. Laughing my ass off. Rules.
Eli Manning. Wait. Did I hear that right?
Eli Manning is starting this Sunday.
Are you serious?
Monday night.
I'm picking up Eli Manning. I'm picking up Eli Manning.
Golden Tate is back. Evan Ingram is back. The game is going to be better than expected. Got to wonder if Father Time has even been practicing.
He's going to take that job, man.
This isn't 2012, okay?
It doesn't matter.
So right into the next matchup, we got Carolina on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Really? We got to talk about this. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's some players in this game you're going to play. Christian McCaffrey, he's really slowed down. Well, he's slowed down over the last few weeks. You don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of work on those legs.
He's
carrying the team.
He's carrying the whole damn squad, man.
Exactly. So you're not sitting Christian
guys
McCaffrey
on his back.
And DJ Moore has really had an outstanding season too. I really didn't expect a lot from DJ Moore. Don't get me wrong. I knew he would be a solid receiver. No one knew what he would do as a number one, and he's really shown that he can be the number one. He's playing very well. So I got him. I even got Curtis Samuel's a little sleeper in this one. I really think with Greg Olsen being out, they said they're going to be going to a tight end committee with Ian Thomas, which has played in games and really hasn't produced or done anything, in my opinion. So I like Curtis Samuel as a sleeper in this one. And then on the other side of the ball, Julio Jones is supposed to play this week. He's due. He's due for a big game, and I think it's coming. Yeah. So that's exciting. And then
that's the script for Julio. If you're a Julio Jones owner in any of the last couple seasons, the whole thing has been he's due. You know what I mean? He's banged up right now, and you know what? That could be troublesome for Matt Ryan. You know what? Carolina is terrible against the run. But as of late, you know what I'm saying, Atlanta has gone to a committee with Brian Hill and Devontae Freeman. Actually, Devontae Freeman is one of my top sleepers of the week. You know what I'm saying? If he can find it, if he can actually find it, he will feast as Carolina's giving up 22 touchdowns on the ground. That is ridiculous on the season. Come on, man. You know what? It's hard pressed because Carolina's not been playing the part. But I'm still taking Atlanta. I got Young Hoku all day in the number 7 Michael Vick jersey because he is the GOAT right now. 3 straight onside kicks last week. I just can't bet against that. I'm for Young Hoku. Let's go get it.
Yeah, I can't go against the home team in this one. I can't go against the dome home team. You got Matt Ryan and that whole dome setup that they love at home.
I mean, you know what? Atlanta's defense has been playing pretty good against the run.
Yeah, and this
is Christian McCaffrey we talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's a monster, man.
That's
he's
what I'm saying. So,
but he got the whole load of the world on his back. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean that could be hard, but white chocolate just got it. Let's go.
Yeah, we're all on Atlanta. That's obvious. We can move to the next matchup. We got the Los Angeles Chargers on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Chargers, man. It's hard to even talk about them. It's a disgrace. I mean, you got a great football team that just is. I mean, they're worse than what the Cowboys are doing because at least the Cowboys are finding ways to win a couple games. The Chargers are like they just blow up themselves. I mean, look at they got Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. You know what I mean? Look at that production on the offense. Then you turn to the flip side. Now you got Darwin James back. You got. You got Melvin Ingram, you got Joey Bosa. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and they're still losing. And Phillip Rivers is no scrub. He's playing like it lately, but he is no scrub. So it's crazy to me. But in this game, Melvin Gordon should feast against the Jacksonville front line that's giving up ass all day long on the ground. So I like Melvin Gordon in this game. Eckler has been producing no matter what, so he's definitely a viable flex guy if you got to flex him. And
Yeah,
I'm still going with Jacksonville.
I think, you know what? Jacksonville is crazy, man. I think they are going to Minshew's mentor because they know if they would have put him in, they would have took state. Minshew is back. People.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? I think
throw it
DJ
over
Chark
that mountain.
and Day Westbrook is going to clown in this game. I like Fournette in this game a lot as the Chargers have been giving up a touchdown in every single game to the running back position except for last week. The Chargers have no problem producing. That Jacksonville defense is not what they were last year.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And the year before. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely crazy to think about that. And you think about how Jacksonville should dominate games, but they just find a way to lose. It's pretty embarrassing, and the Chargers do as well. So it's like, who do you pick? I'm going with Melvin Gordon. I'm going with that defense. I am going with the LA Chargers on the road against Jacksonville.
You're literally picking the best of two losers is what you're doing in this game. You just really are. Like, they're two teams where you just look and they're
we don't want we don't want the win. We don't want the win.
Yeah.
No, you take it.
Both of them. Like, you just literally got
we're
two
going for the draft.
You got two losers in this game.
How many missed field goals are going to happen?
How's that going to happen? I don't know. I want Minshew to win, so I don't know. I don't want to worry about stats. Nothing.
The Chargers are favored by 3.
I want Gardner Minshew to take that job.
Absolutely suck.
I want Minshew to take that job.
If you're a Vegas man, if you're a betting man, I wouldn't put 2 pennies on these motherfuckers like at all. So, you know what I mean. But ultimately, I got the Chargers winning this game. I can't bet against them.
Minshew.
I get it. Jacksonville at home. You know,
Yep.
I think Fournette takes care of business. And I think Minshew gets it done even in a struggle game. You know, but we can jump right to the next matchup. We got Tennessee Titans on the road against the Oakland Raiders, and this is one of those games. This is one of the games where you see the Oakland Raiders and you go, "Oh, there's no way they're going to beat the Tennessee Titans." And then what happens? They come out and they beat the Tennessee Titans. You know, they tend to play up to their competition, especially at home. They tend to play up to the competition, especially at home, man. They just do. I like the Titans in this game. Don't get me wrong. I'm choosing the Titans to win this football game.
I'll be at the game in the rain. Motherfucker, Raiders going.
Derrick Henry's been killing it.
That's what I'm saying. You about to see Derrick Henry explode.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's been killing
In
it.
the mud, just fucking grinding.
Ryan Tannehill, in my opinion, is kind of a sit because I don't think he's going to need to produce that much. Realistically, he's not going to need to throw the football enough.
No.
You're looking at maybe at best 200 yards, maybe 2 touchdowns. And that's what I think he could do in this game.
I think those wide receivers are going to kill that outside. I just think the Titans going. I think Chucky season is fucking over. Is what I think. I think the Titans is going to go in there.
They got him on a 10-year contract. What do you mean it's over?
I think they're going to grind
On
out
a
this
10-year
football
contract?
game, and the Titans got this. I think Tannehill's good enough to win this game. I do see Derek Carr getting in the end zone in this game, but other than that, I don't see a lot of love for Josh Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I think Tennessee is going to control the clock, and I think Tennessee will come out with the victory in this game.
I'm absolutely biased. I'm going to this game, and I want the Raiders to win, so I'm just going to go ahead and say the Raiders are going to win. But, god damn it, it's fucking not looking very good. And it's going to be a mud game, too. It's going to be a mud. It's going to be wet and nasty down on that Coliseum Stadium. So
I think it plays right into Derrick Henry's favor.
It does play better for Derrick Henry, yes, I will. But, nope, still taking Raiders. I don't care.
That's fine.
Move along.
I like Jonnu Smith as a little sleeper in this one because the Raiders been getting killed by the tight end position. But in a slop game like this, where Ryan Tannehill really isn't going to need to throw the football, I don't think that much. I don't know if Smith can produce enough fantasy points, possibly a touchdown, boom or bust. You know what I mean? So that's all at the risk for you. But yeah, we're on Tennessee. We got third wheel on the Oakland Raiders. He's going to the game. I get it. But anyway, we can move right to probably the second best game of the week, Kansas City on the road against the New England Patriots. And I got a little asterisk next to my pick because I just cannot pick. This is a tough game to call because
you can't pick.
You know what, Patrick Mahomes?
You can't pick America, a Patriot. You can't pick America.
Patrick Mahomes, as good as he's looked. Is that line has not looked great. So, I worry about that, especially against the New England Patriots front that isn't that good. But their secondary's been great. So,
pretty solid all
I'm going to take New England at home.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. This could be a huge game. You gotta really know that Kansas City's defense has been pretty solid for the last 7 weeks. They've only given up 3 touchdowns to the wide receiver position, right? And 2 of those touchdowns came on single catch performances. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know what? Keenan Allen 2 weeks ago was the only guy to produce over there on 12 targets. He had 8 for 71 and a touchdown. Kansas City's been giving up a ton of work to the running backs through the ground and the air. You know what I'm saying? This is a game built for James White. You know what I mean? James White, all season in that Patriots offense, that's what he does. He catches passes. He catches touchdowns, and that's what they do. And I think that's how they're going to control this clock. New England is coming off a game where their whole defense was sick all week. I think they're highly motivated for a win in Foxborough in this one. And I think, we've been waiting to see this Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady showdown. But I think New England has this one in the books all day long.
Yeah, I'm going with New England as well. Belichick's a beast, honestly. And that defense, I think, is going to show up a little bit better. But it's not going to be a Tom Brady game. I think it's going to be a running back game. I think New England's going to get their running backs involved, and they just do. I mean, we've all seen Belichick go and switch scripts, going from Tom Brady throwing 45 times a game to 25 times a game the very next week. So we'll see. I think they won this game. I'm going New England as well, especially at home in the cold. Come on, man. It's December.
Yeah, I like New England. One little mention, though. We finally get to see Darwin Thompson in action. You've seen him light it up in the preseason. Then it comes to the regular season, and he was unheard of, for weeks. And so,
LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then Darrell Williams came out of nowhere. Damian Williams still there. Now, Damian Williams, hurt, already been rolled out. Darrell Williams, put on IR. They got LaShawn McCoy, but they're not giving him all the load. They just signed Spencer Ware. You're going to see a three-headed monster where you can't start any of them. But Darwin Thompson's going to see the field. That's exciting to watch. We'll see how it goes, But, yeah, we're all on New England Patriots. I can see the Chiefs pulling it out, man. I really do. But all on New England. All right, so we move right to the next matchup, and we got Pittsburgh on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. What a snooze of a game, man. You got Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-5. How is this possible? You got fourth string quarterback, fourth string running back. You got receivers on the field I never even heard of before the preseason. You know what I mean? So, but they're finding ways to win football games. That defense, with Minkah Fitzpatrick really taking care of business. And on the road against Arizona Cardinals, who've given up the most fantasy points to the quarterback position, can you start Duck Hodges? No, you cannot. I'm sorry.
The Duck.
Plain and simple, you can't. But I like the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. And on the Arizona side of the ball, I don't really like anybody outside of Fitzgerald. The running back, Chase Edmonds, coming back. You already seen David Johnson doing nothing, and Kenyon Drake is carrying most of the load. But now that Chase Edmonds back, who knows what's going to happen? So, I'm staying away from all of Arizona. Fitzgerald over the last few weeks has really started to pick it up, but I like Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh on the road.
Yeah, I actually like Arizona this game. I do like Arizona. Look, Kyler Murray is going to be a good quarterback in this league. 5-10 years down the league, you're going to look at Kyler Murray and you're going to say, okay, he's a good quarterback in this league. He's a rookie, and he's performing well in certain points, but he's having a problem scoring inside the 20. I'm telling you, I think they grind this out. I think it's a weird, low-scoring game, and Arizona wins at home.
Oh, shit. I think we against you, B. Scott. What's going on? I got Arizona Cardinals all day long.
That's
what
impossible.
I'm saying? I really feel like Christian Kirk is going to come off in this game pretty well. I don't like Larry Fitzgerald, but you know what? I think that running game is good enough to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
A little bit grind.
I think, dude, I'm telling you, I think with the safeties that Arizona does actually have, I think that there's going to be a couple of turnovers in this game that pretty much dictates the game flow of this game. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they're not in red zone. You know what I'm saying? They don't go to the red zone because I really feel like Kyler Murray will thrive there. You know what I mean? Chase Edmonds, Kenyon Drake, I think they're going to get this done. You know what I'm saying? I really do. And Christian Kirk is a start for me in this game. I don't know what it is about it. I just feel it in my bones. And God said, pick Arizona. Let's go get it.
Arizona home.
All right, so you're all against me. And I got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes,
That's okay. We'll move to the next matchup. We got Seattle on the road against the LA Rams. I wouldn't even be talking about this matchup realistically, except the Rams,
well, it's a division game. You got to talk about it.
Absolutely, and Jared Goff just got done putting up 400 passing yards,
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong.
Out of nowhere. Looked like trash like 90% of the season, and then it's like,
Arizona's secondary is that bad, man. Quarterbacks, like I said, most fantasy points.
Arizona?
They played Arizona last week. Jared Goff had 400 passing yards. But anyway.
Yeah, but that's a good – Jared Goff compared to that quarterback is not the same thing.
No, absolutely.
And that offense is not the same thing.
They're different.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's not going – Pittsburgh offense right now, James Conner is ruled out for that game.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Jalen Samuels, he got, 2 more touches last week. Mm-hmm. Benny Snells did not produce last week.
Benny Snell's coming off his couch
Juju,
3 weeks ago? Come on now.
Juju was still banged up, fucked up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have James Washington as one of the top waiver pickups this week. I don't see it in this game. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. That offense is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. They have nobody to depend on. It's not the same thing.
I like Seattle.
I really like Seattle in this game. You know what? Chris Carson has been averaging 4.2 yards per carry. The Rams, over the last 3 games, have been giving up 4.7 yards per carry.
Penny been picking it up, too.
That's what I'm saying. And also, Penny's been, destroying shit.
Yeah.
How is this going to work? Since they got Reed back on that offensive line, they've given them a great playmaker. And, you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of pressure up front. When Goff gets under pressure, he folds. He absolutely folds. I think that Seattle has the advantage. They already beat them. They know the recipe. I'm telling you, Josh Gordon might see the end zone in this game. He might finally get acclimated in this game.
What?
I'm telling you.
We're going to get Josh Gordon sighting?
I'm telling you.
You know you've been praying for Josh Gordon sighting.
Josh Gordon, those receivers, they're too fast. You know what I'm saying? You got Tyler Lockett, who's due for a touchdown. Also, DK. They can't handle DK by itself. A lot of teams in the league cannot handle DK by itself. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna win? I got Seattle.
Looking at a shootout. I think it's going to be more of a shootout. You know, Jared Goff plays a lot better at home. Seattle's defense has really picked it up over the last few weeks, but they're still not, you know, elite in my opinion. So I like DK in this game. Russell Wilson all day, and I like Lockett. Even though a lot of people got Lockett on the sits this week, 3 straight games against the LA Rams, he's had a touchdown every single game. So Lockett's played pretty efficiently against the LA Rams. So I like him to find the end zone in this one. You saw Robert Woods last week light it up. He probably stays right there with the targets and everything like that. Gurley's going to run the football, but how effectively, who knows? You can't sit Cooper Kupp. He's just too amazing. And I like Higbee as a definite sleeper in this one. Seattle Seahawks giving up second most fantasy points. Realistically, they've given up the most fantasy points to the tight end position outside of Arizona, who's absolutely horrible. So I like Tyler Higbee. Gerald Everett's already been rolled out. Definitely fire up Higbee if you need to as a streamer this week. But I definitely got Seattle. I mean, you can't pick against them either. They're playing great football. You know, plain and simple.
Ain't that bout up, bitch?
Yeah.
You just built all that up to pick Seattle. You know what? We got Seattle. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I thought he's going to come with some heat. I'm like, what's going on here?
I was going to build all this up, talk about those guys, and then like, nah, you're probably right.
I just think it's going to be a shootout, and there's going to be a lot of fantasy points involved in this one.
There could be a lot of fantasy points. And this is one of those games that's probably going to be a really good game to see. So.
Yeah, but the marquee, Week 14. Let's get down to this Monday night game.
Yeah, we got the New York Giants playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and Eli Manning making his return.
What?
Drool and all.
It's unbelievable.
What?
You know. In his career in Philly, 20 touchdowns, 19 interceptions.
You've been the man.
I don't really want anybody on the Giants side of the football outside of Saquon. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna see a lot of checkdowns probably.
Saquon been a little bit slow lately. I don't
Absolutely,
know.
He's been hurt. He's been
crazy.
still reeling with the injury.
It's crazy with this. Golden Tate's back from that concussion. Evan Ingram's back. They full blown. Alshon Jeffrey is back. You seen him light it up last week. We told you. Aguilar's back. Zach Ertz is way far gone off his injury. He's back. We finally get to see him full blown. I think this is a big Carson Wentz game. Can the Giants pull a shocker? They probably can, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
first game back.
This is a divisional matchup.
That's a weird thing.
You know, they know each other very well.
Uh-huh.
Eli just coming out there to want to show something, but you got to wonder, is he even in shape? Has he been practicing? You know what I'm saying? Has he done anything? Father Time, I mean, you can't say Father Time caught up with him.
Does he want to gunsling?
But you know what? At the end of it all, it goes to the defense. And Philly's defense, through the air, they've been playing pretty good over the last month. We know that they have a good rush defense. I just see Philly rolling in this one. Not absolutely rolling. You know what? I think that the Giants probably put up some points on the board, but I think this is going to be Wentz's game. I'm telling you.
2 to 3 touchdowns for Eli Manning.
This is the game where he grab his nuts.
2 to 3 touchdowns for Eli Manning. Easy. And then at least 250, 300 yards. Eli Manning's going for a pedestrian amount of about 24, 25 fantasy points. But that's better than a lot of other quarterbacks you could probably start. So I would probably start Eli Manning in this game.
No way.
I'm starting Eli Manning.
It's impossible to me.
You said the same thing about Andy Dalton when I said start him fucking last week.
It is
and
crazy.
Guess what, Evan?
Here at the First Word Downs, and you know what I'm saying? It's an exciting time. It's Week 14, and we coming up in the world, and we are, you know what I'm saying, excited to announce that we are installing a trap door under this motherfucking seat. Ain't no way I'm starting fucking Eli Manning next week.
That's right, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It's impossible.
I got a jet seat. What's this? A jet now? The F-16?
I have the number 2 Acme, and it is going to work. I'm just trying to tell you right now.
It's week 14. We got the fantasy playoffs, man. It's impossible for me to start Eli Manning in the playoffs.
Depends on your quarterback situation on what you're doing.
If the whole season,
if you don't have a quarterback in line,
I think he is 25
or at least been lining it up in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Hopefully,
you
if you're
are
smart,
probably going to be losing anyway. So
I think he is 25 fantasy points.
Get the hell out of here.
We're all on Philly.
Yeah, Philly rolls. Let's go. You know what? It's been another episode of the First Four Downs. It's G.O.D. in the house. In the house I got.
B. Scott.
In the house I got.
Third wheel.
Yeah, we did that. Week 14 in the books. You know what it is. First Four Downs, baby. Always. Let's get it. If you like this video, turn that thumb blue. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell. We out.